Hey y'all, I'm Rylan. Welcome to my channel. Today is a day that so many of y'all have been waiting for because we are officially announcing the 2025 round of the Spooktober readathon. In case you didn't know, back in 2020 during the pandemic, I decided to start hosting a bunch of readathons that year, and one of the ones that I created and hosted was Spooktober. This is a monthly readathon that takes place from October 1st through the 31st every single year. I did not end up being able to host the readathon last year because of thesis work, but I did promise that because I did not host last year, that 2025 would be back and better than ever. And I hope you all are in for a ride because today's announcement video is going to be crazy. The readathon for Spooktober is going to be wild this year, and I am so excited. Make sure to buckle up, watch this whole video. I will be sharing a ton of information in it. If you have questions after the video is over, however, please feel free to comment down below or send us a message in Discord. We are more than happy to help you. I just know that I will be sharing most, if not all, of the information required in this video, so please make sure to watch. But anyway, back to the fun information. This is a spooky readathon where the focus is to read mystery, thriller, and horror books throughout the month of October. The goal for this year is changing immensely. My co-host Stasia and I have come up with a crazy plan for Spooktober, and we are stoked about it. In the past, we have had team-based challenges, we have had individual races. We've done a lot of different things in the past in regard to Spooktober. This year, however, our game is completely different. I'll share what it is in a second. There's multiple parts to it. There's a lot going on this month, but it's gonna be super fun. This is just a PSA or a heads up that using Discord will be vital to this readathon. So much of what we do is via Discord. We will share announcements, we'll share updates, we will be hosting sprints, we'll announce live sprints, and we'll just be chatting as a community with other participants in the readathon in the Discord. I will have that in the description down below if you're interested in joining. When you register for the readathon, which is also a requirement because we do want to keep track of who is reading what and things like that, there will be a question that asks you what your Discord username is. If you could please fill that out, that'd be amazing. It really just helps us have a great way to contact you if we need to, and also allows you to stay up to date and in the know of everything that happens with this readathon. So that's my PSA. Discord, I know not everyone loves it, but for this readathon at least, it is very much a vital part of what we do. For the first time ever, the Spooktober readathon will be functioning as a game board. I'm going to scoot over and share the game board right here. This is our board that you are going to be rolling for to hit prompts to make it all the way to the top of the board, which is where our haunted house lies. There are a bunch of different prompts. I'm not going to go through every single one here, but we have prompts like new to you author, isolated setting, final girl trope, debut author, blood red on the cover, unreliable narrator, person on the cover, missing person trope, serial killer trope, multiple timelines. Things like that are the tropes that you can expect to find on this board. They're not meant to be super complicated, they're not meant to be difficult, but they are meant to give you prompts to help you read mystery, thriller, or horror books in the month of October. In past rounds, I had made it so you can read other things besides those three genres to get some sort of point for the readathon. This year, we're not doing it that way. The only books that will count toward the readathon are spooky books, so anything mystery, thriller, or horror that fits the season that we are reading in. So to go through this game board, you'll start at the bottom, which is the beginning. You'll use one 6-sided die. You can find one online that can roll for you, or you can use a physical die, of course, if you have one available. But you'll just roll, and every single prompt you land on, you read a book for. Once you make it up to the top, you will automatically be entered into part 2 of the readathon, which I'll explain in a second. But you can complete this board as many times as you want. There will be a bonus for completing it more than once. When you fill out your submission form for every single book you finish, there will be a question that says like, what prompt did you read for? Have you reached the haunted house yet? And you can fill that out, and we'll be going through and checking to make sure that we can confirm that everything is done the right way. And hopefully it's not super hard for y'all. The chaos will be behind the scenes while Stasia and I figure out adding up points, and doing all the behind the scenes things that will happen with this readathon. But this game board is pretty self-explanatory. There are a few spaces where you can either move forward 2 spaces right away or move back 2 spaces, just to kind of potentially make the board a little bit trickier, but our goal is not to make this super tricky. It's very easy, very self-explanatory. I will be posting a spooky book recs video sometime soon, not specified for these exact prompts, but might give you a starting point to pick out books as you're trying to figure out your TBR for the readathon this year. So keep an eye out for that. This part of the readathon, because this is only part 1, will be taking place from October 1st through October 18th. There are 2 different parts of this readathon. If you make it to the haunted house 1 time, you are automatically going to be added into a new part in the second half of the month. If you do not make it to the haunted house, that's also totally okay. You'll be given another role in the back half of the month for the readathon. We're going to be keeping most of that a mystery, but the main goal for the first 3-ish, 2.5 weeks of the readathon is to get through this game board. Get through it 1 time, get through it 3 or 4 times, however many times you want. There will be a bonus though if you get through it more than 1 time. The game board's gonna go away now. We're now moving on into what I think is probably the most unique element that we have included in any readathon ever for Stasia and I and the things that we co-host together. I'm not going to share a ton of details because we are keeping it a surprise until closer to when part 2 of the readathon starts. But as I said before, first part of the readathon is happening from October 1st through October 18th. On October 19th, we will be having an admin day, which will be a day when the readathon kind of takes a pause. There will be no submissions allowed, nothing going on in the server, no prompts or anything like that. This will give Stasia and I the entire day to make final decisions for the back half of the readathon, to catch up on things like points and submissions. This will give us time to chat and finalize our intentions for the back half of the month, because part 2 of this readathon, which will be taking place from October 20th through the 30th, is a haunted house. That is right, there will be some sort of haunted house that you and a team that you are on will have to try and escape. That's all I'm gonna say about it for right now. We're keeping it a surprise to kind of make the chaos more intensified for that part of the readathon. But all you have to do is sign up 1 time for the readathon. The form is in the description down below. Once you are signed up for that, you will automatically be in the readathon for the entire month. If you do not end up making it through the game board for the first part of the month, that is totally okay. You will be getting to play a role against the teams that are in the haunted house for the haunted house portion. So you will still get to read, you will still get to finish books, and hopefully help deter some of these teams from escaping the haunted house. You'll have to join our Discord to find out more information about that second half of the readathon though, because most of it is going to be a surprise. I just think that adds to the fun of the readathon, to the spookiness of it, and it's going to be great. I have already mentioned this, but every single time you do complete a prompt, make sure that you fill out our submission form. The submission form will be changing once we reach part 2, the haunted house version of the readathon. So we'll just be using the same submission form for the first part, and then we'll announce and give every team and every person what they need to know for the haunted house portion of the readathon. But please make sure that you submit the form. We will be helping to keep track of different stats for our registrants, for our participants in the readathon. We'll be using that for ourselves to kind of help figure out what exactly we need the haunted house portion to look like, because there is a lot of factors that go into that. So we will be very much keeping an eye on the submission form. So please make sure that you submit every single book that you read for the game board portion of the readathon, as long as it classifies as spooky, which is, in the terms of this readathon, anything mystery, thriller, or horror. We will announce on October 19th or 20th when the new forms are up. It'll be different depending on what your role is in the second half of the month. But again, we will update everybody and make sure everybody is in the know for that when the time does come. Once again, Discord is very important to this readathon, so please join if you are able. It is so fun to be able to plan your TBRs with other people to be able to chat with other people about all the spooky books that we are reading this year. I will also be posting some templates that you can use to post on social media or to just keep organized with your own TBR and wrap-ups. And just all of the information, all of the content will be in that server, so please make sure to join. I promise it's super fun. You will not regret it. If you need help with anything at all, please just let Stasia or I know. I will be tagging Stasia's announcement video in this description as well, because she will also be sharing all this information, if not more, depending on what I may or may not have forgotten. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, I will be uploading a spooky book recs video, so keep an eye out for that if you're kind of looking for a starting point for what you may be interested in reading for the month of October, if it ends up aligning with whatever prompts you end up landing on. I do plan to go all out in October. That is my goal, that is my dream. I have so many books set aside that I am hoping to pick up during the month if the prompts line with it, if I'm able to. And I honestly cannot wait. I love fall here in the US. I love this Halloween season of just getting to read all the like cozy books, and even though they're kind of thriller-ish or horror-ish, they're still kind of fun. So it's very cozy to me. I love this time of year and cannot wait to celebrate it and just have a great time with it with all of you. Once again, if you're interested in joining, make sure to use the registration form in the description down below. That will help us keep track of how many people are participating with us and just all the information that we need to know to keep track of everything well. I do also want to share very quickly before this video wraps up that I have recently discovered Everand, which is an ebook and audiobook subscription, kind of like Audible, but better, that allows access to thousands of ebooks and audiobooks on their app. You can pay $11.99 for a standard subscription once a month to receive 1 credit, as well as access to things that are already unlocked on the app, or their premium subscription is $16.99 a month, which allows you 3 premium credits to anything on their app, ebook or audiobooks. They also have podcasts and things like that. I am planning to use this app for audiobooks in the month of October for this readathon. If you're interested in joining the app and having the subscription, I do have a free trial link in the description down below. Make sure to click on that, use your free trial. I think this is a great app and I'm excited to continue utilizing it for the Spooktober readathon. If you are planning to participate in this readathon with us, make sure to comment down below and let me know. This is genuinely one of my favorite readathons ever. Yes, I am biased because I co-host it, but it is truly so much fun. Such a great time of community with other readers, all of us uniting in our love of all things thriller, mystery, and horror. But that is all that I have for today's announcement video. If you have any other questions for me, feel free to comment down below or ask me in Discord. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.